Welcome to class, and today we're going to talk about Fred Hampton. He was he was the chairman of the Black Panther Party in Chicago, Illinois, one of the most conscious and revolutionary brothers we ever had, and he was killed, or rather assassinated by the police of Chicago, and the family did win the lawsuit there, so it's proven. Why were they afraid of him? I'm going to talk about what he was all about. There's not much out on him because a lot of it is hard to find. He was killed very young, but he was one of the brightest candles ever risen out of all these revolutionary movements. So here's what he said, and welcome to my lecture. Protest is when I say I don't like this and that. Resistance is when I see to it that things I don't like no longer occur. Protest is when I say I will no longer go along with it. Resistance is when I see to it that no one else goes along with it anymore. When the party started talking about class struggle, we found that we had to start talking about guns. If we ever negated the fact that there was racism in America, but we said that when the byproduct, what comes off of racism, that capitalism comes first and next is racism. That when they brought the slaves over here, it was to take money. So first the idea came that we want to make money. Then the slaves came in order to make money. That means that capitalism had to, through historical fact, racism had to come from capitalism. It had to be capitalism first, and racism was a byproduct of that. People learn by example. When Huey P. Newton said that people learn basically by observation and participation, I think that everybody caught on to that. So what we're saying is that if they learn by observation and participation, then we need to do more acting than we need to do writing. And I think the Black Panther Party is doing that. We didn't talk about a Breakfast for Children program. We got one. We say something like this. We saying that theory is cool, but theory with practice is irrelevant. This is one of the most important things that people need to read about today. It doesn't matter how much you know. It's what you do. You can know all the theory you want. You can be an expert of understanding all these kind of theories. But if you never do anything to organize or fight, then you would die with that knowledge. You would die feeling like you thought you were smart when really you're just irrelevant. You might as well know nothing. I don't care how much theory you got. If it don't have any practice applied to it, then that theory becomes irrelevant, right? Any theory you got, practice it. And when you practice it, then you make some mistakes. And when you make a mistake, you correct the theory. And then it will be the corrected theory that will be able to be applied and used in any situation. That's what we've got to be able to do. People these days cannot admit that they are wrong. It is perfectly fine to admit you're wrong. It is fine. I mean, our best leaders, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, they were able to publicly criticize themselves. That's incredible because nowadays people just they don't do it. People don't do it. Black people need some peace. White people need some peace. And we're going to have to fight. We're going to have to struggle. And we're going to have to struggle relentlessly to bring about some peace. Because the people that were asking for peace, they're a bunch of megalomaniac warmongers. And they don't even understand what peace means. And we got to fight them. And we got to struggle with them. We got to make them understand what peace means. Bobby Seale was going through all types of physical and mental torture. But that's alright. Because we said it even before this happened, and we're gonna say it after this, and after I'm locked up, and after everybody is locked up, that you can jail a revolutionary, but you can't jail a revolution, right? You might run a liberator like Eldridge Cleaver out of the country, but you can't run liberation out the country. You might murder a freedom fighter like Bobby Hutton, but you can't murder freedom fighting. And if you do, you come up with an answer that don't answer. Explanations that don't explain. You come up with conclusions that don't conclude. Now let me show you how we're going to try to do it in the Black Panther Party here. We just got back from the south side. We went out there, and we got to arguing with the pigs, or the pigs, the police, got to arguing. He said, well, Chairman Fred, you're supposed to be so bad. Why don't you go and shoot some of those policemen? You're always talking about you got your guns, you got this. Why don't you go and shoot some of them? And I said, you just broken a rule. As a matter of fact, even though you have a uniform, it doesn't make any difference. Because I don't care if you got on 9 uniforms and 100 badges. When you step outside the realm of legality and into the realm of illegality, then I feel that you should be arrested. And I told him, you being what they call the law of entrapment. You tried to make me do something that was wrong. You encouraged me. You tried to incite me to shoot a pig. And that ain't cool, brother. You know the law, don't you? I told him, you got a gun, pig? I told him, you got to get your hands up against the wall. We're going to do what they call a citizen's arrest. How many people today know what a citizen's arrest is? They don't know. They don't know. They don't do their research. This fool don't know what it is. I said, now, you be just as calm as you can and don't make too many quick moves because we don't want to have to hit you. And I told him, like he always told us, I told him, well, I'm here to protect you. Don't worry about a thing. I'm here for your benefit. So I sent another brother to call the pigs. You got to do that in a citizen's arrest. He called the pigs. Here come the pigs with carbines and shotguns walking out there. They came out here talking about how they're going to arrest Chairman Fred. And I said, no, fool. This is the man you got to arrest. He's the one that broke the law. And what did they do? They bugged their eyes, and they couldn't stand it. You know what they did? They were so mad, they were so angry, that they told me to leave. We're going to have to do more than talk. We're going to have to do more than listen. We're going to have to do more than learn. We're going to have to start practicing, and that's very hard. And it's even harder today for people to do this. Huey P. Newton got to reading, and he's not like a lot of us. A lot of us read and read and read. But we don't get any practice. We have a lot of knowledge in our heads, but we never practice it. And made any mistakes and corrected those mistakes so that we will be able to do something properly. So we come up with, like we say, more degrees than a thermometer. But we're not able to walk across the street and chew gum at the same time because we have all that knowledge, but it's never been exercised. It's never been practiced. We never tested it. And what's really happening. We call it testing it with objective reality. You might have any kind of thought in your mind, but you've got to test it and what's out there. You see what I mean? When it comes to Fred Hampton, it's not just what he said. Look him up. Look him up. Watch his speeches. Watch him. He is the charismatic of charismatic. Watch how he speaks. It's so inspiring. It's inspiring. It's just so... I don't know how to explain it. He was so passionate. He was a very passionate brother. A very, very, very passionate brother. You don't know whether people relate to the breakfast program because you never fed nobody. You don't know anything about the free health clinic because you never asked nobody. You don't know anything about the good that a gun does you because you never tried one. And we say that if you was born and if you said you didn't like pears and you never tasted pears, you have to be a liar. You don't know whether you like pears, but you can't claim that you don't like pears. The only way that anyone can tell you the taste of a pear is if he himself has tasted it. That's the only way. That's the objective reality. That's what the Black Panther Party deals with. We're not metaphysicians, and we're not idealists. We're dialectical materialists. And we deal with what reality is, whether we like it or not. If you're going to criticize something and claim you don't like it, you must understand all of it to justify your opinion. Don't tell me you don't like something because it didn't appear to be good to you. You have to dig into it. Like, for example, if you're going to watch an anime and you want to say the anime is terrible and it's 50 episodes, and you're just one episode in, your opinion does not matter. You have to watch all 50 episodes to justify your opinion. So that's what Fred's trying to say with this quote. And I'll leave you at the end. And this is one of his most powerful statements that he says a lot in his speeches. If you ever think about me and you ain't gonna do no revolutionary act, forget about me. I don't want myself on your mind if you're not gonna work for the people. If you're asked to make a commitment at the age of 20 and you say, I don't want to make a commitment at the age of 20, only because of the reason that I'm too young to die, I want to live a little longer than you're dead already. You have to understand that people have to pay a price for peace. If you dare to struggle, you dare to win. If you dare not to struggle, then damn it, you don't deserve to win. Let me say peace to you if you're willing to fight for it.